All right, what's going on, Legion fans? Welcome to another episode of The Bad Pod, where we talk about The Bad Batch on Disney+.
That's right.
Yeah, we've got
Great episode.
episode 8.
Yes.
Episode 8, man, and it's picking up now.
Yeah,
Things
now
are
we're
getting
going.
good.
Well, I mean, a couple of things that we had said in the last time that we were hoping to see.
Yeah.
First off, Crosshair's back.
Oh, a huge part of this episode.
Big part of the episode. It wasn't an entirely Crosshair episode like we had discussed, but we didn't need that. But
Right.
it was good to finally see, like, he's back. He's just straight up following orders.
Yo,
there actually isn't
gone
any
now.
questioning. Yeah.
He was going to burn him alive.
Oh, yeah,
He
he
was
was.
going to, like, wipe him out.
Not like, and no
Yeah.
hesitation
Yeah,
on
it didn't seem like it.
No.
I don't know, man.
He is in a place where it doesn't even feel like he can come back from.
Yeah, he might be a lost cause. It might just be it might be like I don't know. It might be like he's given over to it and
Yeah.
he's going to end up having to be taken out.
Yeah,
or something.
I was kind of hoping in the moment where they're cornered by Crosshair and his team and all of the troopers.
Yeah.
And Omega started talking to him.
Right, and she mentioned remember what I said to you on Camino.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had hoped that in that moment, we might see him
Glimmer
flinch,
something.
start to question. No,
Stone cold,
He
man.
is stone coldly sent
Yeah.
his troopers to surround them.
Yeah.
And then said, "Aim for the girl."
Yeah, right. Well, you know
that
what?
is scary.
Though you know what? To me, that's a little telling. Because
Okay, talk to me about that.
So here's the deal. He recognizes that she's something that could bring him back.
Oh, okay.
Like he felt a little bit something, and he's like,
you think from that
eliminate the
Got
threat
it.
of bringing me back to the other side.
Yeah, but then does he want to come back?
Yeah, I don't know. His character has always been cold and calculating.
Right.
So he might enjoy. They're going through a lot of deep themes of like they've lost the black and white nature of war, where it's like we just had orders to follow. It was easier. Hunter mentioned a lot. It was easier when there was an objective, when there was a war to follow. And so you wonder if Crosshair is in that spot where he's like, no, this is just easier.
Right.
This is easy. I have an objective here. It might not be, on the side of quote unquote good, but he's like, I can't do it myself. I have an objective.
That goes to, one of the other themes that I've been picking up on and that I've been reading more about, and that's what was the Empire's greatest weapon. Okay.
Right.
There's an argument out there right now that the Empire's greatest weapon was actually economic stability. And it wasn't anything along the lines of like the Death Star or
or
the
ancient religion.
An ancient religion of the Sith.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't Vader, it was actually their economic stability.
Oh.
Because when you
Money's powerful.
look at the rest of his team, we know he has conscripted soldiers with him. And one of the things they talked about was like the Republic didn't even provide 3 square meals a day for him, and they get that there.
Yeah.
The Empire for Crosshair provides clear objectives,
resources,
and outcomes
weapons,
that he needs to execute on.
Yeah, purpose. It gives him a purpose.
Exactly, gives him a purpose. Whereas even Hunter is getting to the fact where Echo, I believe, was the one in this episode where
he was pushing for.
Had we
soldiers.
gone with Rex,
we
wouldn't even need to be worrying about clearing our debt.
Right.
We'd
have an objective again. We'd be back to but he's
a
Red.
But he said he's on
that.
a different. Rex is on a different path than us.
Yeah.
But my question is like almost along the lines of, and this is probably a lot of people's question is, what is the Bad Batch's path?
Right.
You know, like if their path is not to be a part of the rebellion,
right?
What is it?
At this point, it seems like it's protecting Omega,
right,
and figuring that out. What is our place in the galaxy without being a part of the Republic's military? Like, what do we do? I think we're asking the same questions they're asking, which is good. We're walking along with them,
right?
I'm interested to see,
but I
what
think
it's going to be.
So
what their path is. Yeah.
On Wednesday of this week, you're going to listen to our comic correction, comic. It is what it is.
I thought you were looking at me like I'm going to listen to it. I was
no.
Was I? Did you do one without me?
No, never, never. But
Never.
of the Empire,
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith,
Right,
right?
episode 3.
So we're doing episode 3,
good one.
and one of the things that we talk about in episode 3 is that there's all these plot holes, that there's all these things that are not explained.
Yes.
There is an angst that is created in episode 3 that we are not brought along the ride for.
Sure.
Anakin experiences this angst, and we're like, really don't get.
Yeah, we see the result.
why
We see him lash
he's
out.
lashing out. Like, it's almost like not understanding your moody teenager. That's basically what we got in episode 3.
Basically what
Where
it was.
here, Filoni is bringing us along for the emotional toll and the ride that Bad Batch is experiencing. We are questioning these things alongside and understand why the Bad Batch is questioning or struggling with these things. Even why Crosshair or the conscripted soldiers are making the choices they're making. Like, we can relate to and understand. You know, I talk about this frequently, but like, I started a charter school 3 years ago. Recruiting some people was very difficult because it was something that's completely unknown. People have never been, the people that explain, like, I've never been a part of a founding team. I don't know what to expect. You know what? I'm going
all
to
new
stick
things.
with what I know. Stick with what is consistent. So it's like being able to recruit people out of, you know, this type of system that is established, clear, productive, like, even to something else is very difficult.
Right.
So like, to recruit out of the Empire, which is an empire, like, that has the wheels of motion in place and clearly has some big force behind it. To do something else is incredibly difficult. Like, why would you?
There's going to be a directionless sense, and they're trying to figure out what direction. Like you said, I mean, I know we talk about the Empire all the time, and that they do have some good things behind them, in the sense of, like, they do produce order. Like, they do. They, whether they're doing it in the right way or not, they're producing a system.
Set that piece aside for a second. Set that piece
system
aside.
and order that people can work with, and that they can work inside of parameters that they can live by, and
Perfect
that's
example.
really good.
Perfect example. Tarkin.
You
think about Tarkin all the way back in the Clone Wars. You know, he struggled with the lack of order, the lack of clear decision making
of the Jedi.
Who were leading, and his superiors in the Clone Wars.
Right. Exactly.
You know, he couldn't handle that.
Yeah. So the foundation is good. It's just that the Empire then takes, whenever you take, it's that whole idea of absolute power corrupts absolutely. As you get more and more powerful, and you want to hold on to things more and more, that control can lead to dictatorship, right?
But
which is what it leads to.
Yeah, I agree. But there's plenty of people that in the Empire are not going to see that.
Oh, sure.
Most of Coruscant probably in the Empire would never know the actual things that go on behind the scenes in the Empire that are corrupted, that are horrific. They would never know those things. That's not, we see them on the back end.
Right.
But, like, to think about it, like, what this gives us a clear picture into, which the movies never does, because all we see are stormtroopers, Vader, and the Emperor. That's what we see.
That's all we see of the Empire. We don't see the little outposts and the different, you know, all the planets that are under Empire rule. Yeah.
So it's like people who are just day-to-day people who are part of the economic system that go along with the Empire just know this is stable. This is consistent. I am not. I don't have to always be worrying about attack. Like, I don't have to. That's not something I'm fearful of.
But and this goes back to the economic structure, and that for the wealthy planets, that's where it is.
For
and then we see the outer rim planets, and even some of the people in the center, like they see it as an occupation more than an empire.
Agreed.
But those ones that are a little more functional when it comes to economics within the empire, if they're buying into it, And for the most part, they're not gonna.
It's why people were willing to turn over their vehicles. It's why people were willing to get the numbers that were
the chain
assigned to them,
codes,
the
and
chain
everything.
codes.
Yeah.
Like it's those things that people are willing to do because they're like, oh, I don't really see the problem with it because it doesn't impact me.
Right.
It actually just makes things more systematic,
And
ordered, convenient.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't impact my life in any other way.
But if they were seeing what Crosshair was doing, and that's why the rebellion started, because they would start to see the lengths at which the Empire would go to create what they wanted to have as order.
And didn't care
the disregard of life.
The vice admiral didn't care. He wants them dead. Wiped off the face of the planet.
Right.
Like not creating problems for anybody else behind the scenes anymore.
Right.
He's done with them.
Even when the Kaminoans are like, hey,
we could use their valuable DNA. Their
the child is really important. And
right.
Rampart's just like, nah, you just go kill them all.
Yeah.
Just get rid of them. And they do. So we haven't ever actually talked the structure at all. So the Bad Batch are still on the salvaging planet. They're still looking for pieces, trying to make money to pay off Sid's debt.
Yep.
And Crosshair gets dispatched with his group. This group, it does have stormtroopers and clone troopers in it. Because we do hear that they have regs with them. So he has a kind of a mixture.
They're all,
which is
I
cool.
know you're clarifying with that, but I just need to also clarify they're all stormtroopers at this point.
Oh, sure. But
they're all stormtroopers.
But there are some clones in there.
They have conscripted soldiers that are stormtroopers, and they have
because it's a transitionary time.
Yes,
they're trying to trying to remove all, but they don't have enough to remove all the clones right now.
Yeah, but I think the other thing that goes there that's important is I don't think the Bad Batch is going to know that there are conscripted soldiers with them.
Right, they might think they're all just clones.
Right,
which
also could be playing. You're right, yeah.
Because some of them are chicks, so it's going to be very different.
Right, it's going to be, but then the other things that goes into that is going to be like their tactics are going to change, and the Bad Batch is probably not going to be prepared for that, which could have played out here. Now, it's played out more in the fact that like Crosshair says that he knows what they will do.
It's exactly what you said before, right? In the previous podcast, you were like, who watches the Bad Batch the most? It's Crosshair.
Right. Exactly.
And so he knew exactly that he knew they were going to go down that engine shaft. He knew that they were going to try and leave out the exhaust.
Yep.
He knew all that. And so immediately after he got trapped underneath that, which I don't think he expected that when they got trapped under the pieces.
He didn't expect the firing of the giant cannon.
Because that endangered the Bad Batch too.
Right.
So he didn't expect, but as soon as he got his thoughts together, he sent somebody immediately to the command center to start up the engines because he's like, that's where they're going.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then she's like, Omega asked, would he really just burn all of you? And and they just looked at her, and then it starts up. It's
apparently he does. Yeah. The other little note here be able to catch is what the Kaminoans did. Okay,
right.
So we have clarity now, or at least we can assume. We can I don't want to say it. I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume.
We assume this.
We assume this, though, that they sent Fennec.
Yep. They sent multiple bounty hunters.
They are now sending exactly multiple bounty hunters to retrieve Omega.
Yeah, it reminded me of the way Vader sent out bounty hunters to go get Han Solo, right? So he sent out a whole mess of them. And only Boba came back with the prize, but he sent out a mess, just like, well, one of them will get it. He got the resources. The Kaminoans have the resources, so send them all out.
Yeah, they got money.
Yeah,
we
know. They sent Fennec.
We know the Kaminoans have money, and
it's not just
from. It's not just from the idea from the movies. We know it from Clone Wars. I mean, They made
they're rolling.
They made the Republic go bankrupt.
Right. They're
paying for soldiers.
They got all the money in the world. So they sent Fennec. Fennec didn't
accomplish the job.
She's still working on it, but she didn't do it. So then. The end of the episode is the best. So we're going to have to pick this apart for a little bit.
Yeah.
So they finally get back to their ship. They think they've outsmarted by Crosshair by disengaging the out part of the exhaust.
Cutting the exhaust,
dude,
the part of it off.
Crosshair
that was
got
amazing.
burned up, man. He got fried.
Yeah.
And so they've got him all bandaged up on a ventilator. He's still trying to kick, though. He's still trying to go after him.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how those injuries play out over the next.
It's going to be great.
Because here's the thing. The thing we have to think about is.
I love Star Wars and melted people.
Yeah, but
they love melted people.
Oh, yeah, they love partially working people.
They love melted people, man.
Couple of things there, though.
Yeah.
Think about this.
Yeah.
He failed the mission.
He did.
Okay. So he's about to go back and report that he failed.
He failed something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the next thing is then what are they going to do with him?
Yeah. I Yeah,
and he's
I don't
injured.
know.
So now they have an excuse to
remove him.
Just get rid of him.
Yeah, and maybe that's what turns him back, is he sees that
he's
maybe
expendable.
And like he's got.
And
they've got to do that, so they'll stop doing. If they get rid of him, they'll stop doing the treatments.
For conscripted soldiers.
Yeah,
he's thinking, next man up. Let's get one of his conscripted teammates going as the leader.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting though.
But if they remove him, then
right.
he won't continue to get the treatments on his chip.
Exactly.
Which means his brain will be able to start to work a little bit better and fight the chip.
Yep.
Which means that might be the catalyst to him thinking like the Empire, abandoned me.
Could be.
Go back to his brothers.
And that's my point here is like I think this injury may actually
you're right.
lead to more. And I mean, he definitely hit his head. So we saw him hit his head though. When
he hit everything.
Yeah, I mean, he hit his life.
Yeah.
But he hit his head though when he got fired back on it.
Yeah, so maybe it dislodged something.
Could be.
That'd be
could
cool.
be if they don't continue the treatment, if they don't amp him up while he's injured.
Right.
That could be the other thing is his injury delays him getting more amplification of the chip in his head.
Gets a foothold on the chip.
Right.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
So,
anyway, so they get to the ship.
Yep.
And the best cameo of the series so far.
Oh, my gosh.
Man. And that's why I told you the other night, I'm glad you are at the point where you are in Clone Wars.
I'm
because you've met him.
So I'm rocking with Cad Bane.
Yeah, usually we've seen all these cameos, and you're like, you haven't gotten to them yet. You know about them, but you haven't gotten to them. So you got to see Cad Bane in action. And he only gets better as Clone Wars goes. He's in it more.
He's phenomenal.
So he's a wonderful character.
Yeah.
So he is back on the scene.
I initially was annoyed by Cad Bane when he was first on the scene.
Yeah.
He's brilliant though.
Oh yeah, he's
like
great.
I'm amazed at his planning.
Well, he was the first one to capture the Chancellor.
So first one to capture the Chancellor. He freed Zero. He's brilliant at being able to plan through what to expect. Not just from clone troopers, but even from Jedi, from like anyone in the galaxy.
He gets better, man.
Yeah,
he goes eventually you'll see he goes toe to toe with Jedi, and he holds his own.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
he's incredible.
I have no doubt. I mean, a name like Cad Bane.
Oh, it's great. It's such a good Star Wars name.
I love.
So good.
Well, it's not even just that. He's kind of like Bane.
Yeah, he's got the hoses.
He's got the hoses coming out.
I love his Western hat. He's got his signature toothpick, which he has all the time.
I was definitely worried for Hunter. I'm like, this is
we shot him. Well,
we're going a Western shootout here. Come on, man.
Yeah. So Cad Bane he's obviously a fan favorite, but they've got some cool stuff to move in with Cad Bane because in Clone Wars, they never finished his story. So his story never got a chance to be finished. They had an unwritten story arc with him near the end of, I think it was season 5 or 6, I can't remember, that they never did. They have some, you can actually watch them on YouTube. They've got some like unfinished animatronics of some of the scenes.
Yeah.
So further on in Clone Wars, Cad Bane ends up mentoring Boba Fett. You also find out that he was trained and kind of grew up under the tutelage of Jango Fett.
Okay.
So he's got some background with the clones background with those people or with the Fetts.
Yeah.
So in the unused story arc, all we don't know everything. Dave Filoni, he teased it. Okay. And then it never happened, and they never released full details of what it actually ended with.
Yeah.
But what we do know is that it ended out with Boba Fett and Cad Bane going on or taking a job together, and Boba Fett's like 15, 16 or so.
Yeah.
And they go on a job together, and they end up disagreeing because Boba is very concerned with innocence, and he doesn't want people to get hurt. Cad Bane's not.
Yep.
And Cad Bane ends up using a child as a hostage.
Right.
And Boba doesn't want anything to do with that. And so he turns on Cad Bane, and they end up having a shootout. Very similar, if you watch the animatronics online, very similar to Hunter and Cad Bane shooting over a child, right?
Yep.
And what ends up happening is the same kind of result. So they fire, and they both get hit. Boba and Cad Bane both get hit. But Cad Bane hits Boba in the head, right in the Beskar helmet, and he's the one who gives Boba the signature dent.
Signature dent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cad Bane also gets hit, But that's where the animatronic ends. And so we don't know if Cad Bane was supposed to die or
yeah.
what. We have no clue. And so fans are thinking that maybe they're going to kind of run with that storyline that never got a chance to see the light of day.
Okay.
And the child who is the hostage in that storyline is now going to be replaced with Omega being the hostage. And we might get to see... I'm kind of hoping it's even though I don't want Cad Bane to die, I'm kind of hoping it is, because if he's still alive, he's the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy. And so Boba obviously takes that title.
Yeah.
So how is he going to take that title if Cad Bane's still alive?
Can't.
So
unless he
maybe Boba comes back in this series,
or unless
and kills him. I don't know.
The only other thing that I could see, but this is then too far down the road.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense, is if there was something more that we see happen in the book of Boba Fett. And I'm not saying...
but that would mean Cad Bane was hiding out all during 4, 5, and 6.
No. Flashback.
Yeah. Oh, okay, flashback.
We get a live-action
I wouldn't
Cad
mind
Bane
seeing a
flashback
live-action Cad Bane. That'd be pretty cool.
But in the book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, to see
that would be... That is something that I think would...
You know, I wouldn't mind if it was in both. Like, I wouldn't mind if we just see a flashback of the duel in Book of Boba Fett, but we actually see the story arc play out in Bad Batch.
That'd be interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they could recreate the animation with real people. But
So-
anyway, so who knows what that's going to... But he has the kid.
Yeah.
You know, he's got Omega.
This is where I think things go sideways.
Oh,
okay?
for sure.
So expectation here is Cad Bane then delivers Omega to
the Kaminoans.
Kaminoans. I don't think that happens.
If that's who he's... I mean, I know they mentioned bounty hunters, but you never know.
I don't think... So they could be... He's brought on by somebody else.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if Fennec's from them and he's from the Empire?
See, I think he just realizes that she's worth more.
Oh, okay.
And starts to... And then...
Sells her to the Empire or something like that?
Or potentially. Or threatens
the
to.
Hutts or something?
Yep.
Or,
yeah. And Fennec, this is where Fennec joins forces
to
with
stop
the Bad
Cad
Batch
Bane.
to stop Cad Bane
He
or
took her
to
bounty.
rescue Omega.
Yeah, I like that.
And be able to then deliver. And then that's where...
Yeah.
That's where we get the information about who Omega is.
Right.
Why she's important.
Yeah.
That's where we get that information delivered.
Right.
Now, Bad Batch goes with Fennec. She's their sniper now.
Yeah.
Grabs Omega.
Right.
And does take her to the Kaminoans. Because I
don't think the Kaminoans are the bad guys in this. I think they're okay.
I don't think they're the bad guys,
Yeah.
but I do believe... I believe there's something about Omega we don't know yet. And here's my concern.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't think it's just powers.
Okay.
I think there may be something degenerative surrounding Omega.
Okay.
I think she needs to get back to the Kaminoans.
Oh, they have
to
maintain her or
they
something.
They have to maintain something about her.
She'll die if she's not
maybe
given
something
a treatment
along
or something.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah,
or it could go back to like some way that they need to save their brothers. This could go back to brotherhood again.
She could be used to, but I know we talked about that in the beginning. But if this ends in the Battle of Kamino, which we hope it does,
that's what I'm saying. They
then
gotta
really
loop back to Kamino, though.
Right,
what I'm saying is they've got to go back to Kamino.
Yeah, they've got to have a reason
to
go back there.
Exactly, and whatever the reason is, has to align with both Fennec and with the Bad Batch, or the Fennec then double crosses the Bad Batch and just takes her to Kamino.
Right, and then they chase her there.
Yeah, like I don't like that one as much.
No,
I
I'd
would
rather
prefer
see
there
Fennec.
be Fennec and the Bad Batch be working on the same side. Realize they need to take her back for some reason.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of is if there's something that needs to be maintained with her that not even Omega knows.
Oh, sure. Maybe Fennec is armed with that information and is like and tells the Bad Batch and then they agree to go back with her.
Right, they alluded to the Kaminoans alluded to that they were running out of time.
Yes,
and that time
they're
wasn't.
On a time frame.
Now we assume that time had to do with
conscription
the fact
and replacing the clone troopers and all that.
Right. Well, no, we assume that the time had to do with the fact that they were hunting down the Bad Batch.
Oh, okay,
they're gonna find the Bad Batch. They're gonna kill her.
Sure.
Like that. Like we assume that.
Yeah.
It could be they're realizing they're running out of time because of whatever it is that's going on with Omega.
Right, maybe, her genetic code is breaking down, and they need her. I mean, they obviously need her for something. She's important. She's special.
She is.
They need her for something.
But we haven't seen her get sick in any way or anything like that, so I don't know. She's only gotten stronger. I mean, she wielded that bow.
Oh, yeah, she was getting much better at that.
She was great with it
and she almost disarmed the bomb the first time. She got hung up at the end there when Wrecker's trying to show her
which
disarm
one to
it.
cut.
Yeah, she got a little, but she only saw him do it once.
Right.
And she got pretty close. So, and he even said he didn't even do it in the first time he tried to disarm. So, like,
Yeah, but that's not surprising.
Yeah, he probably tried to punch it.
Right. Wrecker's not about disarming bombs. Like, he's about using them.
He's smart, though. He did the smoke bomb so it wouldn't actually hurt her. I love it.
Yeah. That's a big brother move. He is a big brother.
For sure.
Like, he's not a dad move.
He is
the big brother.
He's protector. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we're seeing more and more character development. We're seeing more characters introduced. We're seeing higher stakes come into play.
Yep.
We're leaving that formulaic, just go to a planet and do a mission structure, and we're going into a much more
I was
character
really
arc
glad
structure.
that they
It's
stayed
great.
on that.
Yeah,
on that
they stayed. Yeah, to get stuff, to get
Yep.
supplies and everything, and it allowed us a chance to have them sit and the Empire catch up to them, which creates more of a fear there for the Bad Batch. I love it, man. It's getting good and
we're
better and better.
We're officially
and better.
halfway through. We're officially halfway through.
Yeah.
So now we've got. This was a great middle episode.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was
right
a real good
Yep.
mid-series finale kind of a thing. Like
exactly.
It was high stakes,
real
high
big
energy,
build, real big build for the second half.
and then probably one of the best character reveals at the end of somebody that I don't think anybody was expecting.
No,
Cad Bane
I wasn't
not
expecting
the guy
Cad
you're
Bane.
expecting.
Not at all. No,
I would have more likely thought Boba would come in if you're going another bounty hunter than Cad Bane. I mean it's great.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what they do with it, and I think it really throws a wrench in this second half that I think is a good one for us to actually see some of what we kind of expected to happen start to come together.
Yeah, man. 8 down, 8 to go.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every Monday.
And Wednesdays.
No, just Mondays.
And Wednesdays?
I don't think we can do Wednesdays.
We can do Wednesdays.
All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.